But now we've kind of blocked this out as far as we can go with just this cube with one line through it. We're gonna smooth this out, which means it's gonna add extra lines and kind of round out the whole shape. So we're gonna go to Mesh, Smooth. This is a technique I use almost all the time when I'm modeling. Who knew My Little Ponies were so tricky? Oh boy, how are we gonna do this? My guess. Yeah, so what I'm doing in between my normal, I'm gonna insert an edge loop here. Inside of my normal indie dev game streams, I'm gonna be doing some character sculpting, some other little things as well. So like on Tuesday, we did some seamless textures painting. Today, we're doing some speed modeling. And yeah, next week, maybe we'll do some ZBrush sculpting. I'm gonna add another edge loop in here. And then we will adjust it after the fact. So we're just gonna we wanna get to a good block out state today on this. It's actually looking pretty good. So, and then of course, this will have to fold more into the round shape, which means maybe the booty end is a little bit bigger on this end than the, obviously the front of the head. The booty end, that's the proper technical term. It's the way I think it should be. May not be the way Stardom thinks it should be, but that's the way I think it should be. Okay, now if we're gonna stick just to the side view, that is that's coming along. This section will all have to be merged in a little bit later, but as for now, I think it's starting to be okay. Actually tempted to redraw some of these lines, but we're gonna leave them here for now. See if we hit like a smooth preview. It'll look a little bit like that. You see it all kind of smooths out pretty nice. We'll end up sticking these all together in just a little bit. And now that we kind of see this all come together, we can see that this leg actually comes out a little bit further, which makes sense because the booty end of the My Little Pony would be thicker on that side. And this is making more sense for how this arm would kind of flare out a little bit. So we're actually gonna make this bean shape kind of taper in towards the front a little bit, just by scaling that in. This is a fun model. This is a lot more fun than I thought it would be initially. Okay, so that all tapers in, and now this arm eventually will come up, or this leg will come up into this section right here. I always ask my students, what is this missing? What's the next most important piece to add to this model before we continue? Which would probably be the head, right? And so we're gonna work on the head. And just like we started with the bottom, we're gonna start with a cube. And the way I'm gonna do this, actually, because the reference image doesn't match up perfectly, I'm just gonna model the head off grid to start with. Just match it up, and then we'll snap it over into its proper place in just a minute. So from the front view, pretty straightforward. The head is a little bit longer, or taller than it is wide. We'll match that up with the cube. We'll do the same thing over here on the side view. Let's match it up here. And pretty round. I mean, it's pretty round. Start with that. Okay, so we'll smooth that out. Okay, here's our head we're gonna start with. It's matching up pretty close. See how it looks from the side. I'm assuming it matches up pretty close. Ideally, I think I would have wanted to find My Little Pony without hair so I could see how the head looks exactly. Because my guess is I'm probably a little bit tall, right? That maybe the head, where the hair would come, is maybe right there. I'm assuming. I am not a My Little Pony expert, though I wish I were. But that roughly is the head. And now to see what I want to do next. So now we have like the cool mouth, nose that kind of bounces in it. So I'm going to block out the shapes first. I want to see what shape I should use for this before I really get started. So I'm just gonna shrink one of these down and place it where I think that nose should be. So we had like this circular shape here. So let's see, I'm assuming it should be kind of like that, but we'll see what happens. This would scooch down to the neck right there. This side is just gonna go inside here, so it doesn't matter as much. Let's see, how would this be? That seems a little too pointy, but whatever. This is gonna be a hot mess, I think. Sometimes with modeling, you just have to start with a hot mess and then fix it. If we look at the muzzle on this side, maybe it should be a little bit more narrow, maybe like that. Really hard to say. And then it might curve out at the bottom. Perhaps, I don't know. Let's see how this looks. It's a start. It's a start. A little bit creepy. A little bit creepy. That's okay. Let's move these up. Yeah, if we hurry, we'll get the tail blocked out just for you, Stardom. All right, I don't know. So the cheekbones need to come down through that. That's a start. I don't know. Okay, just for funsies, let's put the neck in here. Where we assume the neck goes. Right around there. Here's the neck right here. And once again, I think for the next episode, I might have to find some more My Little Pony references, because I'm not sure this is the way the neck should go. I assume it would pop right into the head around there. You know what? We're just gonna do it. We're gonna figure it out on our own. Okay, so that roughly where the neck would be. Let's block that. You know what? Let's continue some blockout stuff. My good friend and colleague Stardom thought we should do a little bit of tail. So let's block in a tail then. If we're gonna do this, let's block it in. Because I agree, the tail is a pretty big section. So we're gonna do this a little different. Let's try something a little bit new for the tail. Let's do this, Stardew Valley. Let's create something called a spline. Whether it's a CV or the EP curve tool, whatever. Let's start here. Let's draw the outline of the tail. This will be just the starting block out. Curves down a little bit like that. Boom. So we've created this curve. Adjust it just a little bit. Here's our curve. And we're gonna keep it straight. This is a 3D model, we're gonna keep things straight. Okay, we're working on the block out here. It looks a little bit Frankenstein-y, but I promise you, eventually it will be a magnificent beast. I lost my cube, so I'm gonna create a new one. It's a tiny cube. So here's the cube we're gonna do with. Okay, so here's the plan here. A little bit different. We are going to try something different. Oh my goodness. Scale this cube down. We're gonna put it in place here. Right here at the beginning of this. And we are going to select the face of this cube and that. extrude. Extrude that face. So you notice it pops up, clear this snout over there, which is fine. We're gonna add some divisions to that. At least we're gonna try to. There we go. We're gonna add some divisions. Not too many. Just enough. We'll delete some of them. And then we should be able to adjust the thickness a little bit. I don't know how good of a start that got us, but I just wanted to do that for fun. So there's the start of our tail, regardless. We're gonna edit, we're gonna delete all by type. We're gonna delete our history on that. Let's go into the side view. And now, just for funs, let's see if we can turn this into a tail. By the power of magic. Right off the bat, one thing I think I'm gonna do is we have too many edge loops. So I'm gonna delete some of these. I'm gonna delete every other one up down here by double clicking them and hitting delete edge. Okay, so there are our current tails. And we're just gonna start matching these up. Actually, I think I would have been better off just doing this entire process by hand, but it is what it is. We're just testing out some new stuff here. Half the fun of 3D modeling isn't doing everything perfectly the first time, it's experimenting, honestly. Testing out things. At least for me. I think this is going to work out great, though. Could have done it a different way, a million different ways, but I like this. I like the way she's going. All right, so here's the start of the tail. Right? Looks kind of blocky at the moment. It shouldn't have looked like, it shouldn't look that weird. So I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that. But let's see what happens. See if we can't fix this. If not, we'll redo it and maybe use a cylinder. Let's see how this looks if we smooth it. So if we smooth that down, actually, crap. Dang it! Nope, it's okay. I actually like it. So there we have it. No, it actually makes it look more, give it a little bit more volume like its hair, though. So never mind, I stand corrected. I like the way it looks. I actually think it looks pretty good. We could remove some of the subdivisions here and keep it lower poly, which maybe we'll do. So here, just for the sake of trying something out, I'm just gonna set one tail over off to the side in case we want to come back to it. But I think right now we could then go kind of like we did before, is take every other one and smooth it out a little bit. Keeping that last one. Actually, I'm gonna keep this one and just collapse it. Just collapse this one because we want a little bit more definition towards the edge. There we go. There we go. Like that. So there we go. A little less polygons, a little bit smoother, but there is the tail, my friends. Look how well it matches up with the side view. Pretty darn close. I mean, if we smooth it out, I could tweak it and adjust it a little bit to match a little bit closer. Okay, a little bit closer there. But there, it's a puffy tail. It's a beautiful puffy tail. Hit 3 on that bad boy, boom. And then we'll add the puffy little section later, which we can just grab one of these spheres and we'll just kind of block it in. Today is block-in day. There's that little puffy bit there. Just to indicate that it needs something at the end there. And if we want to see what this thing looks like, let's gonna do a little duplicate special here. One copy, please. And let's not move these. Let's not translate them. That was my mistake. There we go. So there's the start of our little pony. My little pony, my little pony. And I don't like that. But we could block in some ears really quick. Side view here. For the ears, they go over here. Interesting. So if we, oh man, oops. Messed it up. Gonna block in the ears. Block him in. There we go. Which shows me still needs some work. That's where the ears will go. Edit, we're gonna duplicate special again. Okay, so there's both sides of the ears. And eventually it needs a mane to go down there, do the similar kind of thing we did with the tail. Just out of curiosity, could the tail be the current mane? Just to get this thing blocked in. No, not working very well. So what we want to do is actually either we keep the main simple or we kind of do kind of the same thing we did with the other main, do a curve going around the shoulder a little bit. Actually a start. It's actually a start. Oh my goodness, we're just messing this thing up. And even if you wanted to add some hair, don't do this, my friends. Okay, we're not gonna do hair. Let's top this off with a hat. Oh, for Pete's sake. Yeah, let's do an 8-sided cylinder. Block out a hat. Snip the pivot to the bottom. Go to the side view. And from this side, I can't even see. Where do the ears pop up? This is a lie. This is the problem, my friends. This is why we can't have nice things. Because how on earth does this hat work? How on earth does this shape work with this shape? It doesn't. Because on this side, look, the ears are going up above the brim. And on this one, they're down below the brim. So this is going to be interesting. My Little Pony experts in here. How does this work? We're gonna figure it out. My little brony, my little brony. Here comes the hat. Here comes the hat. What? It's way too long. Way too long of a hat. So according to this, it should be like right there. According to that image. And this image, it should go way further. That's part of the problem too. It's all a lie. It's all a dirty, rotten lie. Make the hat smaller, you say. So it could be folding up, yeah, up around the ears. Yeah, this is just a block out today though, so we don't have to stress too much, right? But currently, that's the current hat. It's a hot mess. Yeah, I believe what the hat does though is it kind of has a curve to it. Like this side curves up a little bit like this. And then especially the back end here too, apparently. Curves even higher. So it would be somewhat like that. This of course is a weird version of it. And then it's got that chunk out of the top of it, which we won't stress too much about, but if you wanted to take a chunk out of the top out of it, we'll do a better job next time. Amazing. Happy New Year to everybody as well. This is not symmetrical, of course. But yeah, she's got a chunk out of her hat. Because that's what happens when you're partying too much as a My Little Pony. What does this look like smoothed? A little wonky if you smooth it, but it's okay. Let's add a couple loops here. See how it looks now smooth. Let's add one up to the top. So I believe it's supposed to be a cowboy hat too. So eventually we're gonna add that that Arby's thing on the top of the hat. But for now, this will have to do. There we go. So that's the start of the hat. So we're just starting it. The hat is gonna take some work. And we're gonna have to figure out what the heck her ears are gonna do. Once we get the hair on her head though, I'm gonna move that back up. Once we get the hair on her head, it'll sit more on top of the hair, and maybe that'll make more sense, and we can get the ears to go underneath it. But that is the start of the hat anyway. And like I say, it's got this kind of concave surface. It's gonna end up going like that a little bit, which means these ends are gonna kind of go like that. We're just playing around with this. This is not the finished model. So it'll have like that dip, and we'll make the dip better. Don't worry, Stardom. We'll dip the snot of it, but that's the start of the hat. All right, so there we go. I'm gonna end this block of the stream here. So this is if you want to see me complete this model on the channel, like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you want to see me progress to do a part 2 of this My Little Pony model to see how awesome we can make it.